Hi there. Many people have asked me many questions over the years about our work on Amazon. And in a community of small business owners, that comes up a lot. Should I sell on Amazon? Does it work for you? How is it working for you? Why is it working for you? Well, I'm going to just round up all those questions, put them in a video so that everybody can have this information. Because it has been a lot of trial and error. And one of my life missions is to make it so that you don't have to go through the coals to get to the reward. So first of all, Amazon. What is seller fulfilled Amazon? Like, let's just say, what is marketplace, the Amazon marketplace? Amazon has a program, a website. I think it's called sellercentral.amazon.com, where you can sign up as a manufacturer or any kind of seller. You can import things from India, for example, and sell them on Amazon. You can do whatever. You basically set up your own listings and put this stuff on there. And once you're on there, you're competing with other people selling the same thing. So if you're the only person selling your product, well, there's not going to be a lot of competition from other people selling your product unless you start distributing it to them and don't have rules in place about whether they can sell on Amazon, because a lot of people do want to sell on Amazon. It's quite easy. So as a small business owner, you have to decide whether selling on Amazon is right for you. First of all, is it right for your brand? Are your customers going to Amazon and looking for your product to purchase? And that is the most important question, because if you aren't going to reach the customer segment that you need to reach by going on Amazon, it isn't worth the headache. It's a huge amount of work to get on there, in my opinion. Some people might beg to differ, but I actually cried when I was putting together our products the first time because I was so frustrated. It's not a small amount of work to get on there. And they have rules that are changing constantly. So you have to decide whether it's right for your business, first and foremost. Second, you have to decide whether it's right for your brand. The brands that go on there, you don't have a lot of control over how your page looks, over what kind of images. They will actually adjust your photos on your behalf if they don't feel like your images are representative of your product. You also have to adhere to their very strict photo standards, like having it be on a white background and having it be photographed in a very specific kind of way. They have all these guidelines on their Seller Central site, so it's not like you have to decipher anything incomprehensible, but it is difficult. And you do have to adhere to their standards, which means that you lose your branding. So if you don't have strong packaging branding, or if you don't have strong branding on your words, giving the feel, the attitude, the spirit of your product, you're going to lose your brand. And really, at the end of the day, your brand is all you have. Because that's your reputation as a business. So what we have done to make our brand, there we have, of course, our standard white background photo, but we also have kind of atmosphere, lifestyle photos. And we've also put a lot of our personality into the bullet points, which are the most important part. Don't let anybody tell you any different. The bullet points and the title are the most important part. And then the description, of course, we put a lot of effort into those too. Okay, so before I go any further, I want to talk about setting up your products in Seller Central. I don't know how it works anymore. When I did it, we didn't have UPC codes. So we had to apply for a brand exemption and then upload a spreadsheet of our products in this really weird form. And that was really, really, really hard. And we kept getting kickback after kickback because I forgot to fill out this talk about pain. And it was really, really awful. And so, but I believe that it's easier if you have a UPC code. So, because you don't have to apply for an exemption. Great, right? So some products, when you're setting them up, may get flagged for ingredients that Amazon considers problematic, like perfumers, alcohol. Sometimes gets flagged. Then Amazon will require MSDS sheets for anything that is fulfilled by Amazon, but not by you. So you can actually do seller fulfilled stuff without MSDS sheets. I believe you still have to have a UPC code to do any kind of fulfillment through Amazon or by Amazon. So that actually leads me directly into, there's two types of ways to use Seller Central platform. There's seller fulfilled products, or there's Amazon fulfilled. It's called Fulfilled by Amazon, Fulfillment by Amazon, and it's FBA. So we started out being seller fulfilled, and that worked out okay. And then we switched to Fulfilled by Amazon, and oh my gosh, it was gangbusters. It changed everything. I have to say, if you're going to go on Amazon, you have to do FBA because the benefits are so huge. Even though they take quite a significant chunk, we found that of the price, let's say it's a $10 bar of soap, you get 60% of that about. So 50 or 60%, depending on the size of the item and stuff like that. There are a lot of considerations that go into the fee that Amazon charges for their Fulfilled by Amazon stuff. And those fees change all the time. There's fees for returns. There's fees for this. There's fees for that. You will never be able to have the amount of control that you want on Amazon. Once they get their thing, like once you're selling on them, they will change the rules all the time. It's a constantly changing sea of this fee, that fee, storage fees, overweight fees, underweight fees, small item fee. There's like 1,000 different things that are a consideration there. What I do is, this is the truth, this is what I do. At the end of every billing cycle or of every payment cycle, I look at the sale amount and I look at the payment amount. And as long as the sales amount, like let's say it's $16,000, is more than, like as long as the payout is more than half of the sales amount, I feel good. And I consider that that is a winning relationship with Amazon because we're getting better than wholesale margins. That price up there, that all those fees, all that matters is the bottom line. And if I'm making better than wholesale margins on that bottom line, that's it. That's important, right? So if I sell 16,000 and I get 8,000 at the end, that is all I care about. That's cool. That's enough. And I know that seems like there's a lot of nuance that's missing from that, but I think you can get killed by nuance. And you have to keep your eye on the bottom line, which is, if I had an $8,000 every 2 week wholesale customer, would I be jazzed? Hell yeah, I would be jazzed. Like, there's a lot of stuff that comes along with working with Amazon, but at the end of the day, it does make financial sense. So there's that, right? Now, I did mention branding, and I did mention how you can maintain your brand while also being on Amazon. They do have business pages, but I don't think anybody actually looks at those. So you really have to consider whether it's right for your brand. Yes, there will be some deterioration of brand. You have to consider the context where your products are going to appear. They could appear in, like it could be healing face cream, which you probably wouldn't even be able to use because of the FDA requirements. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, healing face cream. And then at the bottom, you could have a row of hemorrhoid cream. And that would just be like, you wouldn't have control over that. That would just be the context that your healing cream would be shown in. And that would be associated with your brand, and everybody would be comparing your healing cream to that hemorrhoid cream. And that is the way that life goes, because you don't control the environment. If you are a controlling person, this is not the situation for you. You will be driven crazy by it. But if you have the easygoingness to just weather the storms of, I don't like that somebody left a bad review. Oh, right. I need to talk about reviews. Okay, but I'll talk about reviews in a second after I talk about Fulfillment by Amazon. How Fulfillment by Amazon works is you set up the product page. You have the photos, as I mentioned, they have strict requirements. The title, as I mentioned, that's very important. The bullet points, as I mentioned, those are super important. And the description, also really important. Somebody explained this to me. Actually, it was Brad DeGraw. I was at a QuickBooks Connect conference, and this absolutely blew my mind. Amazon, getting products seen on Amazon, it's just a search engine. It is entirely a search engine. It is totally a search engine. And once I realized that, I could apply the things I know about search engine optimization to Amazon listings. Bing! Oh my gosh, that was excellent. It was exciting, and it's totally true. So, Amazon listings, search engine optimization. If you don't know search engine optimization, it is worth it to do some searching for that. There are definitely many free resources out there. There's also paid resources. I even have a class on search engine optimization explaining how search engines work, etc., all these tools. There's so much information out there. Okay? So I have all the faith in the world in you that you will be able to find search engine optimization and get your product listings awesome on Amazon. So, let's see, what was I talking about? Right, fulfillment by Amazon. Okay, what is fulfillment by Amazon? This is when you send them stuff to their distribution center, and from their distribution center, they send it out to the customers. The other way that it can be done is seller fulfilled. That's over here. This is fulfillment by Amazon. Seller fulfilled means that you send it, the customer places the order on Amazon, you get the order, you have to fulfill it within 2 days. 2 days. This is true. And so if you can't keep the commitment to fulfill something within 2 business days, do not sign up for Amazon because you will be burned. Because you get a seller rating, and your seller rating determines a lot about your life on Amazon and probably off Amazon, given karma. Anyway, that said, if you fulfill by yourself, if you do seller fulfilled, that's a lot of workload, and you have to play by their rules, their packaging, etc., etc. On the other hand, you do get to include your own branded merchandise in there if you want to include a sticker, if you want to include matches, whatever, free product samples, blah, blah, blah. And then, like you can include a card that says, please shop on our website next time for 50% off or whatever you want to do. Like however you want to make that into a life cycle, you can do that if you do seller fulfilled. Fulfillment by Amazon, on the other hand, has a whole other set of rules. They have rules about packaging because they are rough on stuff. Like they are rough. And periodically I order one of my own products just to see how it is, because they sometimes have been known to send out really, really beat up stuff, which gets reviewed badly in the sellers. And I'll talk about reviews in a minute. But yeah, so Amazon, you send them boxes of stuff. There's a whole process that you go through to sell it. They give you a way to make a manifest, a shipping manifest. You put a barcode on the outside. You drop it off at a UPS place, whether that's a ship it center or whatever. UPS is who they use. And so, yeah. So you drop it off there. They take it. It takes a couple weeks, and then they have it in their inventory, and then they'll distribute it to whoever, to the customer who orders it. Obviously, I am way oversimplifying this, but this is just for this video, which is already probably long enough. Okay, so what happens once you send them their box of stuff? They will pay you. Well, they'll put your money into a little balance. Every 2 weeks you get paid out from that. And that's what I was talking about when you think about, you look at your balance and you look at the bottom line and make sure that it matches more than 50% of the top line. There you go. So some risks associated with fulfillment by Amazon. If you are overly concerned with scammers, okay, overly concerned is maybe a judgmental way of saying things, but if you are concerned with scammers, or if you feel like people are going to purchase your product, use it, and then return an empty bottle of it, maybe will result in not enough control for you, because Amazon has made their business on being the customer's friend. And that means easy returns for all, no matter what happens. And so if you're worried about scammers, you just, they're always going to take the customer's side. Okay? And you have to be okay with that. You have to be fine with that, because that's the way that they work. And I personally believe that that is actually the best way to go about business, because you want happy people using your products, and you want people to have a really good experience with your products and your company. You want people to hold your company in goodwill, even if they don't like the product that they bought. You want them to still think of you fondly. You want them to think, you know what, that Outlaw Soaps company was really nice. And that's the vibe that you want to bring into the world, right? That's what you want associated with your brand. Any opportunity to be a brand ambassador, including Amazon's amazing customer returns policies, that's a great opportunity for your brand, right? Okay, so Amazon will control the fulfillment, they'll control the returns, they'll do all of the things that they do. You won't have control. And with that lack of control, you'll also have the gift of not making as much money as you would make if you sold it on your own website. You would get that 100% of the revenue. You could also probably have your shipping covered and stuff like that. But people do flock to Amazon. They use Amazon to buy. So that all said, Amazon does a pretty good job of being a brand ambassador for you. That's just true. That's just true. So anyway, for us, our customers are shopping on Amazon. They really love Amazon. They love the convenience of getting stuff 2 days later. They love that it's cheaper because they don't have to pay shipping. They love that they're not dealing with people. A lot of people are more socially anxious than you think. And dealing with people is hard. So some people really would prefer to just shop through Amazon, and that's fine. We want to meet them there. And that's awesome. So, okay. What was I going to say? Right. Reviews. Let me see here. Do I have that book? No, I don't. Anyway, my friend Jennifer and Gradiva wrote a book called 5 Stars. It's how to handle negative online reviews. Well, also positive online reviews. But I'll tell you that you will get negative reviews, and they will be problematic, and sometimes they will not be worded in a kind way, and you just have to deal. And sometimes they won't even really be reviews. Sometimes somebody will just leave 1 star. Like, thank you? What? Like, that doesn't give you anything to work with. It doesn't give you anything. That's fine. That's just okay. That's just how life happens. So you have to have a thick stomach about that. We do actually respond to the customers who leave 1-star reviews most of the time, because we just want to have that level of customer service. We want to make sure that the person who left that negative review understands that they should return the product for a refund, or that we might send them another one if they didn't feel like it was if it was too banged up or whatever. We just really are emphatic about making sure that our 1-star customers are taken care of just as well as our 5-star customers. So it's an opportunity to build a relationship, and that's how we see it. And sometimes it's frustrating, but what are you going to do? One way that we actually solicit feedback is by sending follow-up messages. We use a product called Feedback Genius, and that it was also recommended by Brad DeGraw, who I saw at QuickBooks Connect. And they send a follow-up email. Amazon allows you to opt out of these communications, but for the most part, people still get them. And you can send a follow-up email once they place their order, once the order has been delivered, 5 days after the order has been delivered. And we do this. We actually say, thank you for your order. Here's who we are. Here's a little bit about our brand. Here's how you can get in touch with us. Please do feel free to respond to us at any time. We want to make sure that they understand that we are people behind these products, that this is not an anonymous transaction, that that they can come to us and that we do care about their experience with our product. And I want to make sure that they understand that. So that's why we use the Feedback Genius. 5 days, when it's delivered, we send a, oh my God, it arrived. Oh, how exciting. Email just saying, remember, if anything's wrong, please don't hesitate to just respond to this email. We'll take care of it. And similarly, 5 days later, we say, hey, if you liked it, review it. If you had a problem, get in touch with us. It has solved so many customer problems. Problems with our product that customers complain about. And it has been a real relationship builder. It has been so nice to develop relationships with our customers because what we have found over the years is that our customers are freaking amazing. They are so cool, so fun, so funny. They're attracted to our products because of our wild devil may care attitude. And as a result, they are wild devil may care people. And those people are super fun. And they're kind of people we'd go camping with and hang out with and all that stuff. So it's really a joy to get to know them. It's a joy to answer their questions and concerns. That is just an important thing to remember when dealing with customers anywhere, but especially in the wilds of the Amazon. Okay, so we've covered what seller fulfilled Amazon is, what fulfillment by Amazon is. We've covered some fee stuff. We've covered how to ship stuff to them. We've covered product descriptions, titles, photos, stuff like that, like how to set up listings. We've covered reviews. What else? Oh, we've covered why you should do it, if you should do it at all, if this is right for your brand. So I should talk about the future, what I think about the future. Now, I think I mentioned it earlier in this video that Amazon has started their own shipping service and their own mail service. They are becoming vertically integrated. This means that they will be a silo. Boop, boop. There is no other thing outside of Amazon. This is happening. This is not theoretical. They have purchased Whole Foods, which means they have retail stores in most states. And although you may or may not like what they are doing with those retail stores right now, but the evolution is such that it will be focused on getting customers what they want quicker than anybody else at a cheaper price than anybody else and dominating the market. That's just what they do. And they have started going into manufacturing. So for example, one of my tripods over there is an Amazon tripod. The photo setup that we have is actually an Amazon product. They do manufacturing. And that is because they can sell it direct to consumer cheaper than people can resell it. So here's where we're going, right? Companies like ours can sell direct to consumer on Amazon. The consumer feels like they can get whatever they want, whenever they want it, as soon as, within a day sometimes within the same day. And it's hard to beat that from a customer service perspective. Where does that leave our small retailers? Where does that leave our bookstores? Where does that leave our, independent sellers? Well, and, farmers markets. It is about relationships at this point. It is only about relationships, and bookstores have had to find this out the hard way. Big bookstores like Borders have really struggled under this because they didn't have a community. They didn't have a culture around their products. There was no thing that customers self-identify as, I am a Borders person. I am I am a person who goes to farmers markets because I care about local. Like, that is an identity thing. It is a community. People like seeing the same people week after week. And Amazon doesn't have that. Now, yet. Who knows? Maybe they will eventually. But they don't have it yet. And so the only thing that we as small business owners can do, this includes shop owners, this includes bookstores, is make communities, make things special, make the relationship special. I like to think of when somebody buys a product on our site, yes, takes a little bit longer to get to them, and sometimes it costs more because of the shipping In fact, usually it costs more because of the shipping, and that sucks, especially as shipping goes up because it really puts a strain on us. But I like to think of us telling a story and that the customer is purchasing the story of a small business in the United States run by a couple who quit their corporate jobs to do this, to follow their passions. And this story is unfolding. We don't know the end of it, and we don't know where it goes. We know the beginning of it because we wrote that story. And that story is unfolding with our customers. Our customers are part of our unfolding story if they choose to be. And people who decide to buy on our website are choosing to be a part of our story. People who respond to us when we send them an email, those people are choosing to be a part of our story. And as the story unfolds over time, it's a real honor to write that story with them. And that's, I think, the relationship that we have to have with our customers in order to survive in the world of Amazon. And that's just the evolution of business. That is just how it happens. If you're an incredibly shy person, you need to find ways of building that relationship anyway. That building a community, building a tribe, building a group of people who identify as your kind of people. Outlaw Soaps people, they know they're our kind of people, and we are their kind of people, and we are friends. Like, we are friends. And that's, I mean, I went to Germany and stayed with one of our customers. Like, this is not customers, these are friends. And so, yeah, I mean, like, that is the part of the story, and people want to buy that story. And that's what we're selling. When we're selling on our own website, when we're selling in person at events, we're selling the story that we're all writing together. On Amazon, no story. There's just a thing, right? I mean, we try and build a little bit of a story. We try and sew a couple threads here and there. But overall, that's just a commodity. We're just sending things out. It's not part of the story. And you're in charge of your own story. And you're in charge of the story of your business. And that is really the only thing you have. That's the thing that you have at the end of the day, is your relationships, your story, and really it comes down to your friendship with your customers. So anyway, that's my Amazon thing. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments of the video so that I can get to them in a future video, or answer them in the comments if they're short. Okay, cool. I forgot one thing. One kind of big thing. The risks of selling on Amazon, which are not small, but they're not big either. I mean, I think they're worth it. So one of the things that you may/will encounter is something called arbitrage. Go ahead and Google it. Actually, if you want to really find a really cool, interesting story from NPR, Google cat arbitrage, ARBITRAGE. And listen to that story about the people who were selling these cat toys on Amazon, and they ended up getting targeted by people who do arbitrage. It's very common. In fact, here's how ridiculously common it is. I'm selling, I have a journal that I put together, and we're selling it on Amazon. And within the first day of it being listed, there were other people listing it also, even though it's ours. Like, there's nobody else selling it. But since it's by Prime, they would order it for the person and then send it from Amazon, and Amazon does the fulfillment. I don't know where this money comes from for them. I mean, like, I don't know who would buy my journal for $17 when it's available through Amazon Prime for $9. But anyway, sometimes they'll sell it on eBay, for example, for something that happened when we went into Fulfillment by Amazon, FBA, was we noticed that people were starting to sell our products on eBay for like 10 times the amount. And, so when you're looking at our $10 or $14 for a 2-pack of soap, and then we find it for like $36 on eBay. This is the thing that arbitrage people do. And most of them are foreign, so they don't understand our currency, so they don't know that selling a bar of soap for $36 is crazy. But yeah, so there is that, and there's nothing you can do. They'll steal your photos, they will steal your listings, they'll steal your text, and there's just nothing that you can do about it. Again, if you heavily are into control, Amazon's not really your platform. But anyway, and then let's see here. What other risks are there? Yeah, there's of course people who will buy stuff and return it and it won't be usable. And, they just are shitty people. And that's okay. Like, I let karma sort that out. Like, that is not for me to deal with. But it does affect our business, it affects our bottom line. And like I said, I look at the top line and I look at the bottom line, and as long as the bottom line is no less than 50% of the top line, I'm cool. So anyway, arbitrage, you just have to just grin and bear it. That's okay, right? Sometimes there's just those things in business, and you got to decide where your lines are, right? Okay, cool. So that's the only other thing I can think of that I was wanting to say. Anyway, okay. Oh, right, packaging. Oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot about packaging. It is a huge deal. So as I mentioned, Amazon is rough on stuff. So you do not want to send them unpackaged material. Like, if you sell a bar of soap, you need to wrap it in a bunch of stuff, not just like we have our stuff in boxes. No, I don't have any bars of my soap here on my desk, but we sell our stuff in boxes. We put the things in, we sell them in 2-packs because we found that the fees work out best that way. You'll want to keep your eye on the fees to make sure that on any individual item, you're not getting less than 60% of the selling cost for the fee. But anyway, we sell them in 2-packs, and we put them in a linen bag, and we put a sticker in there, and sometimes we put a little other tchotchke in there, but I know we put at least a sticker. And the linen bag comes with the tag, the Amazon tag on it. Because Amazon, you have to put their barcodes on stuff. So we actually pre-printed a bunch of business card sized barcodes so that we could just use those instead of their little stickies, which are kind of useless. But anyway, so you have to actually print out the stickies yourself and affix them to your product. And if they come off, then your item is lost because it's all controlled by computer. So you want to make sure that their barcode is solid on there. There's so many more little nuances. And I've often considered just running a course on it. If that seems interesting to you, please leave a comment and I will think about it, because there's so many things. And Ruth, our customer service manager and fulfillment manager, has really made an art form out of packaging, out of making sure that things are in stock, out of everything. During Christmas, our sales go up about 5 to 8 times, and she has made sure that things stay in stock even during those crazy seasons. It is hard. It is hard to keep things in stock sometimes, but you do the best you can. As a small business owner, I'm sure you are no stranger to the just doing the best you can. So anyway, that's my thing. If you want more information, maybe leave a comment. And if you want to be walked through the process, we don't do that, but we might be convinced to do an online course for that or something, because I think that's a really, really valuable thing to know. And there is unlimited money to be made selling on Amazon. It is an infinite ocean of money that is being bought, spent, sold, changing hands on Amazon. It is as deep as the ocean. It is as wide as the ocean, and it has the same movements as the ocean, the tides, the everything. It's unfathomable. Anyway, that's my feeling about Amazon. So